This story came in from our emails, messages from the masses, and it's called My Bigfoot Encounter. I remember back in 1977, it was Sherman, Oregon. My uncle had just purchased an old roadside cabin, one that resembled an old breakfast diner that was commonplace years ago. This one was somewhat run down. You could tell it had been abandoned for quite a spell, although it was a large dwelling with tons of potential. The main part of the building had tables and chairs, like I said, resembled an old diner of sorts. Then there was the basement. That was the coolest place. It was the living quarters. And my uncle, he was one hell of an entrepreneur back when small businesses were the in thing. The forest surrounding the cabin was an old forest. The canopy blocked the summer sunlight completely in places, and the forest became more ominous the deeper you ventured into it. It would give you the heebie-jeebies just looking into those woods from my uncle's backyard. To my uncle, though, this place was going to be a vacation spot to grab a burger and fries, or at least that was my uncle's vision. My cousins and I did all we could to help him out to see his dream burger stand near the dark, creepy woods, but the burger stand was not doing so good the first year. But my uncle decided to give it one more year to see if it would pick up. If not, he would go from there. I had some great times running around that place with my cousins, making fountain drinks and playing and carrying on. But there was always that deep, dark forest. It became creepier and creepier, spooking me something fierce. Something was not right. And God forbid, it got even worse if you were playing hide and seek. And that's when I realized my cousin would not go behind the cabin. And I found that strange, and that's when my dad had told me a strange cookout story. They once had a cookout back there, and someone or something was throwing rocks and berries at the guests, throwing them so hard they were leaving welts and bruises. And that really scared my cousin, and she would not go back there for no reason. It was something a kid would do, throwing those rocks and berries, but with more intensity, my dad said. It scared her, and the story made me a believer. No one was allowed to play outside alone ever again. Finally, my uncle closed the business, and he decided to turn it into a large home with a loft for my cousin above the old walk-in freezer, and he had one of those 1970s jet tubs that was the rage back then. And then one night, my aunt swore she saw something peering through the basement window at her, scaring her so bad that they all decided to move, though the place was a hard-to-sell item. No one wanted to buy it. So my uncle decided to do some research on this area and this place, and come to find out, this place was a Bigfoot hotspot with many encounters, some way more violent than just throwing rocks and berries. So remember, if you ever find yourself near Sherman, Oregon, please stay away from those dark, sinister woods. Do not venture into those scary woods, because there is something there lurking, waiting on someone to make the mistake and walk in alone.